Hello everyone. Today we play my own mission, Dire Times and Magical Endeavors. It's a relatively new mission, only 1 week from launch. Let's load the mission. We play expert mode.
I never visited this section of Aldale, where a great number of mages' houses were built a long time ago. Due to the high number of mages, the area was even called the Mages' Quarter. One day a man fell sick, his skin turned blue, his tongue was inflated, and he cannot breathe. He died soon after from suffocation. Then another got ill because of the same mysterious plague, and soon yet another. The whole area was overcome with fear. That night I heard a knock on my door. It was a mysterious priest, old-looking and with white hair, who wanted to talk to me. I don't like hammers, but this one was rich enough to pay me well. The sound of gold coins on my table and the taste of good wine brought me into a good mood. The priest wanted me to investigate the mysterious illness that occurred in his area of town. He suspected that some group of mages that were banned from the Hand Brotherhood for engaging in necromancy and other mysterious practices were to blame. Maruf al-Ahmar is the leader of this nefarious group, and it is rumored that he is engaged in pagan practices and adoration of the now dead trickster. I am in a dire need of money, so I have no other choice than to take this job. It's not so hard to do, just to visit this part of town and make some inquiries about Maruf. The priest assured me that the Hammerites in this quarter will look kindly upon me, for I serve their holy cause. I also heard that the Hand Brotherhood Inner Circle leader, Salazar al-Abyad, and his closed group of mages are in the possession of a valuable set of 4 precious vases, items that can be sold to art collectors on the black market. It goes without saying that those collectors are able to pay a fortune for them. I may want to pay a visit to Salazar's palace, which is also built in the area. Also, speaking of Maruf, his golden skull of power, a relic of ancient times, can make me a rich man if I can acquire it. It may be found at the highest floors of his palace. Probably. Tonight is the night. I always wanted to plunder Aldale. This is the richest district you can imagine, so let's not waste any time and get going. I have the sentiment my life is about to change for the better.
Okay, Dire Times. Investigate the mysterious illness that occurred in this area of town. You may find an answer in Maruf al-Ahmar's palace. Steal the set of 4 precious vases from Archmage Salazar al-Abyad's palace. Steal the 4 elemental books rumored to be in various locations in the quarter. Find a way to seize Maruf's golden school of power. It may be found at the highest floors of his palace. Collect 2,500 worth of loot in your trip. You are a master thief. Don't kill anyone. When our objectives have been completed, return to where you started. Okay, so it's a long list of objectives. Let's see the in-game shop now. My computer is very slow at loading the mission. So we have only 1,200 loot, and I will buy the flesh bones, a healing potion, a moss arrow, and a broadhead. Play mission. We also have a map of the quarter. So this map consists of two palaces, Archmage Salazar Palace and Maruf's Palace, and a few houses around these palaces, which you can explore and loot. We started here in Auldale Park. So first let's visit Archmage Salazar Palace, the big palace, and steal the 4 precious vases. This is one of the entrances, the servants' entrance.
Looks like it's nothing.
Let's first clear the inhabitants and so we can explore everything. Let's make a hard save. This dead thief has a purse. He also has a story. Stranger, if you find my cold body, go to Auldale Park and look under the first big tree near the gates. Okay, let's go first to Auldale Park and see what is hidden there. So this is the park. And these are the gates. The first big tree near the gates is this tree. And under it there are some diamonds hidden. Around 350 loot. The guards, the patrols on the streets are friendly unless we do something wrong, unlawful. So I will not knock out them. Let's just leave them be. Now let's explore the servants' rooms. Dominic, I leave these orders for you to fulfill before the master rises for his morning coffee. See that the fire in the great fireplace is well stoked and that the large copper kettles are filled with fresh water. The grease from last night's roast must be thoroughly scoured from the iron pots. Use the sand and lye until they shine. Ensure the spits are whipped while still warm, and do not let the vegetable peelings sit in the dust hole to rot and breed a stench. The marble floors are to be swilled and dried before the first bread is set. If the pewter is not polished to a bright mirror by noon, you shall remain at the sink while the rest of the servants takes their meal. Signed, Alicia Headcook. So these servants have a hard life here in this palace. Neil, the wind bites sharp these mornings, and even the strongest ale cannot warm a man's bones as a good fire does. You know well how quickly the nights grow long and how much comfort a warm heart brings in these darkening days. But alas, Neil, the wood, the price of good dry faggots has risen something frightful this season. The carters ask a king's ransom for a court, and our master grumbles like a bear with a thorn in his paw. We must make every log last, banking the embers at night as if there were gold dust. I saw you had a good stack delivered last week. I trust you paid not too dear for it. Do tell me, how fares the new cook? Does she make a proper broth, or does she scrimp on the fuel? I am sure you feel the cold keenly in the scullery, Sam. Okay, we put the servant to sleep. Now let's explore more rooms. To my dear friend Oliver, I hope this finds you well in the country air, for here in Aoldale the talk of the kitchen is nothing but the price of wheat. Although the master's table remains heavy with roasts, we in the hall have seen our portions of white bread replaced more often with coarse barley and gruel. The cook complains daily that a pound of butter now nears 4 gold pieces, and even the small beer, our only safe drink, seems thinner as the house seeks to save on malt. For those like poor Mary who must send coin home to her kin, the burden is heavier still. Her family in the tenements struggles to buy even a morsel of bread, as a third of a laborer's meager coin is now swallowed by the baker alone. Pray the next harvest is kind, or I fear we shall all be living on nothing but turnips and hope. Your faithful friend, Albert. So indeed a hard life. The prices of food are higher. So this is a big stairway. Let's ambush this guard first.
Hello?
So this is the pantry, and here is the vinery. This lady is dangerous, this cook, because he has a knife in his hand. My dear Martha, these mages are a plague upon a honest kitchen. Just yesterday, Master Salazar sent back a perfectly salted venison haunch because it was too tactile. He requested a soup that tasted of a Tuesday afternoon in autumn. How does one boil a Tuesday, Martha? I gave him lukewarm dishwater with a dash of cinnamon, and the old fool claimed it was a masterpiece of temporal seasoning. Archmage Jean al-Zadid is worse. He refuses to eat anything that hasn't been transmuted twice. I spend my mornings baking bread only for his apprentice to turn it into lead for gravity practice before I can even butter it. And don't get me started on the pantry. I found a basilic egg in the cold storage last week. It nearly petrified the pot boy when he went for the onions. They have no respect for the fire or the seasons. They want strawberries in deep winter and ice that never melts in their wine. It's unnatural, I tell you. A cook's life is hard enough without the silverware trying to recite poetry while I polish it. Save me a seat at the village tavern. I crave a meal that doesn't glow in the dark. Your exhausted friend, Cook Alicia. So this is normal, I think, because we are in a mage palace. here is another pantry. And here are the cook's rooms. Nice, we already have 600 loot. So this is another entrance to the castle, the kitchen entrance. Let's go higher. To Lady Caroline Beresford, Countess of Montrose. My lady, I beg leave to humbly solicit your ladyship's pleasure regarding the evening's repast. Should it please your ladyship, I have secured a fine brace of partridges and a fresh leg of lamb, which may be dressed with a piquant sauce of capers and anchovies. Furthermore, the kitchen can provide a delicate fricassee of rabbit or a rich beef of ragout as may best suit your ladyship's appetite. I await your ladyship's command with the utmost devotion. I have the honor to remain, Madame, your ladyship's most humble and obedient servant, Cook Alicia. So this is a countess, a guest of the mages. And here is a secret.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
So here is a mage. Let's see how we can knock out him. I also seen a guard patrolling. So let's be careful.
What's up?
Red Eyes in the Dark by Benny V. Whitespoon. To the esteemed inner circle, I write to you today with a heart heavy with dismay and a spirit troubled by a profound transgression. The star of Ethelgard, that magnificent sapphire, an artifact not merely of earthly value, but of immense arcane power, has been stolen from its sacred vault. The theft itself is a deep wound, but that I have uncovered is a sacrilege far worse. The perpetrators, seemingly agents of the burgeoning black markets in the diamond trade, who deal with illicit stones with unsettling ease, did not merely take the gem whole. No, they have committed an act of lapidary heresy. They have cut the star into small insignificant fragments. These shards, stripped of their collective power, are now being sold across the town, disguised as common baubles and discreetly peddled to wealthy, unsuspecting collectors for immense profit. Each piece sold further diffuses the gem's residual magic, making the retrieval and reconstitution of the artifact an increasingly impossible task. The very essence of the star, its power to stabilize the ley lines of our region, is being systematically erased for mere coin. I am using my resources to track these fragments, but their dispersion makes the task nearly unsurmountable. We caught one of these thieves, and Archmage Salazar is interrogating him in the torture room, but nothing was revealed until now. The sad news is the bastard died today to the rigors of his interrogation, and the chance to gather any information about the gem's fate seems lost forever. I implore the Council to use its influence and unique capabilities to intervene. We must stop this trade and attempt to recover as many pieces as possible. In haste and concern, Archmage Ahmed El Bayed. So this is the story of the dead thief in the torture room of the castle, and we just found the cut pieces of the sapphire.
A mystery presents itself. All is still.
Nice. Date the 6th of October, Anno 865. To Master Benny, Sentinel of the Castle. Sir, it is with a heavy heart and a mind much troubled that I address this missive to you. My merits oblige me to esteem your service to this house, yet I am forced to speak on a matter that sours my temper. For several mornings past, my scullions have not noted a deficiency in the count of the sweet biscuits and wafers prepared for the master's table. While I wish to believe no ill of a fellow servant, it has been observed that your post brings you in close proximity to the pantry during the late watches of the night. I beg your pardon if I am mistaken, but I must insist that these depredations cease at once. Should the tally remain short, I shall be duty-bound to inform the steward, which may lead to a loss of your position and the liveries you currently wear. I desire you to accept my honest warning in the spirit of friendship, that we may both continue in our service without further discord. I remain, sir, your most humble and obedient servant, Alicia, head cook of the castle. So someone is stealing the cookies in the kitchen. Okay, so we explored both of these towers. Let's see what's in here. I hear footsteps. Someone is coming. Let's first see what's up here on these stairs.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
Someone is sleeping. A mage woman. So we have found a bonus objective. This golden precursor mask is worth a fortune. Take it and fetch it on the black market. Bonus objective. To the esteemed Archmage Zin al-Zadid, it is the highest regard for your unparalleled wisdom and your tireless pursuit of the world's forgotten truths that I address this missive. Following our discourse at the Autumn Gala, I have reflected deeply upon the requirements of your current arcane endeavors. Accompanying this letter, please find a token of my profound admiration, a golden mask of exquisite antiquity. My scholars date its craftsmanship to some 1700 years ago, a relic from an age where the barrier between our world and the divine was said to be thin. The mask, hammered from the finest gold, was unearthed in a tomb of great significance. As you know, such items were crafted not merely for vanity, but as a face for the soul to navigate the realms beyond. It is my hope that its inherent solar properties and the lingering echoes of its ritualistic past may serve as a potent focus for your upcoming experiments. I ask only that you remember the House of Beresford should your work unveil the secrets it has guarded for nearly 2 millennia. I remain, sir, your most humble and devoted servant, Caroline Beresford, Countess of Montrose. So this is the story of the Golden Mask. It was a gift from a guest, from that lady, Countess Caroline Beresford. Let's first go to that mage. Is this room?
Is this a vision? You cannot change my destiny, thief.
To my dearest friend, Archmage Zarat al-Jini. I've been refining the Chilling Winds spell. It's less about raw power, more about exquisite control. Imagine not a blizzard, but a focused, biting gale, sharp as frost-covered glass that whispers through enemy lines, stealing their warmth and slowing their very movement. The somatic components involve sweeping gestures mimicking a vortex, while the verbal incantation feels like exhaling winter itself, a drawn-out frigus ventus. The key isn't to freeze solid, but to induce a deep, numbing cold that saps strength. It's a perfect debuff, excellent for setting up your ice and water synergies. 2. I found it clashes terribly with fire, turning it into a damp, useless steam. Think of it as a tactical whisper of winter rather than a roar. Let me know when you've tried it. Warmly, true, ironically, Ethereus. Nice, a healing potion.
To stir will only bring death.
Oh no.
Do you see death in the darkness? He may have returned to darkness, but time is on my side.
Whew. I managed to knock out him without using a flash bomb. To the esteemed Archmage Nadir al-Ruh, may the lunar radiance guide your philosopher's stone. I pen this missive from my secluded tower, beneath skies heavy with potent conjunctions, to share tidings that stir the very quintessence of our art. The mercury I distilled last solstice yielded not mere azote, but a shimmering tincture, whispering secrets of transmutation long lost to the vulgar world. The great work advances through the celestial spheres grow restless, and the shadows of mundane power lengthen. I sought the elusive sulphur you mentioned, finding a trace only in the deepest mine of the Black Forest, guarded by spirits less benevolent than those of our shared lore. Be wary, for whispers reach me of a new cabal, the children of reason, who scorn the true hermetic paths for cold logic. I await your counsel on the etheric harmonies of the coming eclipse. Send word via the usual carrier dove, marked with the triple crescent seal. In eternal fraternity, Archmage Amal al-Sihir. Let's unlock this door.
Hello? Hello? Nothing there now. Hello? Anyone there? I'm harmless. Leave me alone.
So this is another entrance in the castle. We have a nice garden.
Was probably nothing. Probably.
Oh no.
Hey! Hello? You are doomed! Hark! I can hear thy trembling breath. He's fast.
I got caught, but I managed to solve the situation in my favor. To Archpyromancer Felicia Alruch, from Magister Serafina, dated the 5th of October, Anno 865. Dearest Felicia, I trust the hearth fires of the castle keep you warmer than the bitter wind currently scouring my laboratory. I am writing to you regarding my latest trials with the incendiary bonds hex, a spell of such a volatile potential that I believe we must refine its instruction for the upcoming adepts. As you know, the spell is not a direct strike, but a sophisticated weave of fire magic and kinetic entrapment. In my recent demonstrations, I have noted that once the bind is tethered to a primary foe, it requires a precise 3-second incubation period. It is in that final heartbeat of time that the magic erupts, striking not only the target but all adjacent enemies with a localized solar flare. The spiking potential you mentioned in your previous letter is indeed formidable. I have found that following a cast of incendiary bonds with a swift meteor or Rodgord's invocation creates a cascade of fire that few can withstand. However, I must caution, if the target is purged of the hex before those 3 seconds elapse, the energy dissipates harmlessly into the ether. Most fascinatingly, I discovered that the bonds are remarkably sensitive to the target's life force. If the primary foe perishes before the timer is up, the spell detonates instantly, a mercy I found both efficient and aesthetically pleasing. I look forward to your thoughts on stabilizing the energy consumption, as these bonds are taxing to maintain alongside our usual pyrotechnics. Yours in flame, Serafina. So here are the 4 vases, the vase collection. A History of the Hemorrhoids by priest Aaron Regan. So we have objective complete. Still the set of 4 precious vases from Archimage Salazar Alabiad's palace. Nice. So we found another bonus objective. Still this precious scepter, it will be a nice bonus objective. Date 4th of October, Anno 865. From Adept Alaric Vane to Archmage Abbas al-Aziz. I pen this missive from the damp heart of the Black Forest, where the sun's rays seldom pierce the canopy. After 7 days of hacking through the briars, we have located the site spoken in the ancestral codices. Resting beneath a great guarlit oak is the stone tomb of our forebearer, the Archmage Malakor. The structure is strangely shaped, a monolithic tomb of granite jutting from the earth, inscribed with sigil that still hum with a faint violet luminescence. Upon breaching the seal, we discovered the Archmage preserved not by rot, but by a masterful mummification ritual of the old world. He sits upright upon a throne of black glass, his skin like parched parchment, yet his eyes remain open and bright with an undying intelligence. He holds the scepter of Ethelgard across his lap, its jewel pulsing in rhythm with the forest's own heartbeat. We shall begin the extraction once the lunar alignment is favorable. Handle this news with the utmost discretion. The Black Forest has heirs of its own. Yours in the eternal arts, Adept Alaric Vane. The Wonders of the Black Forest by Archmage Abdur Rauf. I write to you from the cusp of the year 865, having ventured into the region known by locals as the Black Forest. This land is no mere collection of timber and moss. It is a genius loci, a sentient entity where the rules of the natural world falter and fade. The paths within do not obey the laws of geometry. They frequently double back upon themselves or lead to nowhere, designed by the forest's instinct to confuse the unwary. Time itself seems to sleep. A mere hour's wandering can feel like days. I have encountered sightings of the Leshy, a space-shifting protector who manipulates the trail to lead travelers astray. There are also reports of the witch trees, ancient oaks, marked with protective symbols against dark enchantments. The rivers run with water that tastes of pure ecstasy but leaves a bone-deep chill, suggesting heavy enchantment or fey influence. I have seen luminescent flora and stained glass butterflies that appear to be sustained by the very essence of the forest's magic. In this age of rising reason, such places remain a sanctuary for the forbidden. Local legends warn of spirits who trick travelers into forfeiting their souls. This forest is a threshold between our world and the perils of the unknown. Proceed with caution, for the woods are alive and they are watching. The City Gazette. Great inundation in South Quarter. The river overflows its banks, drowning a quarter of the city. This week our beloved city suffered a calamitous deluge as the mighty river, swollen by incessant rains and the high tide, burst its embankments, inundating the South Quarter district. Homes of the poor and businesses of merchants alike lie submerged under muddy waters, with reports of families trapped and livestock lost. The mayor of South Quarter calls for immediate relief efforts and a review of the river walls as many cry out for God's mercy in these dark hours, fearing greater loss before the waters recede. A scandalous tumult at Audale Market. It is reported from the city that on Tuesday last, a merchant of considerable standing belonging to the Austin family did cause a most grievous disturbance in the heart of Audale Market. Witness accounts suggest the gentleman, having partaken too freely on Oriental opium mixed with potent spirits, fell into a state of frenzy. He did loudly declaim against the honesty of his peers and threw several bottles of fine silk into the gutter, claiming they were serpents of the river. When the watch attempted to restrain him, he did offer them his wig in exchange for his liberty. He was eventually conveyed to the counter to recover his senses, much to the mortification of his kinsman. Such public displays of intemperance continue to be a source of great shame to the merchant class.
Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes, water flows.
A summary of the Maelstrom spell by Archmage Abdul Wadud. My recent research into the 4th level elemental art of Maelstrom has yielded critical insights for our upcoming naval engagement. The spell creates a churning vortex of elemental energy, appearing as a swirling mass of 5-foot deep water in a 30-foot radius. The primary utility of its ability to create difficult terrain, effectively halving the movement of any vessels or creatures caught within its reach. Any creature starting its turn with the radius must resist the current or be dragged 10 feet toward the center, taking bludgeoning of force damage from the sheer pressure of the spinning water. It is most effective when centered on clusters of smaller foes, such as boarding parties, or placed directly in the path of oncoming ships to swamp their decks and break their formation. The spell requires high concentration and a physical medium. It must be anchored either to the ground or a pre-existing body of water. Note that more advanced variants can even bridge the gap to the elemental plane of water, potentially sucking larger vessels into the abyss entirely. So this is the master of the castle, the mage Salazar Alabiad. So we found another bonus objective. Why not take this famous blue gem, the tear of the lake, for yourself? Bonus objective. Archmage Salazar. The council decided to forbid any experiments for my nephew, the water mage Jadal Kairam. This punishment is far too harsh, considering that in the accident at his house, the two adepts who helped him in his experiments were at fault. Their unfortunate death is a consequence of their own mistakes, so why make their tutor responsible? Given the circumstances, can you please consider reducing his punishment in the next council session of the Inner Circle? Your devoted follower and friend, Archmage Nadir al-Ruh.
Fire burns, earth shakes, water flows.
The Face in the Forest by Anne Billingham. I heard a singing.
Art thou there?
It's a female mage.
I shall.
Let's pat him in his bed to sleep.
Just rats again.
To the most illustrious and noble Archmage Salazar Alabiad, from the hand of your humble servant, Monsieur Dubois, jeweler and merchant of fine stones, Newmarket. Dated this 4th day of October, anno 865, most esteemed patron. It is with profound respect and trembling hand that I approach your renowned household, bearing news of a treasure that eclipses all other, a gem befitting only the most discerning eye and the most elevated station. I speak, my lord, of a diamond of unparalleled size and brilliance, unearthed from the distant mines of the north, a stone so pure it seems to capture the very essence of starlight. It is named the Tear of the Lake. This magnificent specimen, weighing near 50 carats, possesses a water of the purest icy blue and a fire that dances with celestial light far surpassing the famed stones adorning even the baron's jewels. I have held it and felt its immense weight, a testament to nature's perfection and providence's grace. For such a marvel I must in all conscience name a price that reflects its extraordinary rarity, 10,000 gold pieces, yet knowing your refined taste and the unparalleled grandeur of your lineage, I am inclined to offer a singular concession, a gesture of goodwill from one connoisseur to another, should you favor me with your esteemed patronage swiftly. For you and you alone, I would consider a sum of 8,500 gold pieces paid in coin of the realm. This diamond, my lord, is not merely a jewel. It is a declaration of power, a legacy in miniature destined to grace your collection and elevate your already formidable status. I await your command with eagerness, ready to present the stone at your private chambers under the strictest confidence, as befits its magnificence and your dignity. May fortune favor your noble house, your most obedient and devoted servant, M. Dubois. Tales from the Crypt by Antonio V. Astantoni. Benny, be advised that the relief guard shall arrive at the stroke of 6. The captain remains strict in his discipline, so I pray you ensure your arms are sloped with the utmost care, lest you face his sharp tongue or worse. We stand as the guardian of this castle, and to the nights are cold, we must not cower. Signed, Alexander. To my dearest son William, from your loving mother near Dayport, 6th of October, Anno 865. My dear son, I pray this letter finds you well and in good spirits. Do I know the watch on the walls can be a lonely, cold business. We received your last missive with great relief, for news travels slowly, and your father and I fret till we know you are safe under the builder's watchful eye. Be ever diligent, my son, keep your steel sharp and your wits sharper, for darkness breeds mischief even with strong walls. Remember your vows and serve your master with honor, for a loyal guard is a cherished man. The autumn cold bites here too, but the heart is warm. Your sister Mary sends her love and have spun a new pair of woolen stockings for you, hoping they reach you soon to keep the chill from your toes. Your father still tends the fields, too his back pains him more with each passing season. We pray daily for your protection and that the builder keeps you from harm. Do not forget your prayers, William, for a strong spirit guard the body better than any mail. Be safe, my brave boy. We look forward to the day you can visit and warm yourself by our fire. Your ever-loving mother, Eleanor. To my trusted captain of the guard, Sir Harrison Humphrey, the 5th day of October, Anno 865. My orders are the following. Double the watch on the main gate immediately. No stranger is to enter without my personal seal or your direct approval. Ensure guards are rotated every 4 hours, with fresh men posted at dawn and dusk. No man shall sleep on duty. Inspect the armory and storehouses. Verify powder, shot and provisions are sufficient and report any shortages to me. The rogue apprehended yesterday died due to his interrogation in the torture room. Please get rid of his body somehow. Let no man falter in his duty. The safety of my family rests upon your vigilance. See these commands executed without delay or question. Your master Salazar al-Abiad. So this is another entrance to the castle. The gardener's entrance. And this is the gardener's house. To my head gardener Ralph Austin, I desire that you should know I have received your last account of the grounds. Concerning the lower orchard, you shall plant lines of trees and bushes, ensuring the intervals are mown often, that they may remain beautiful for my inspection. Pray be diligent in the weeding of the flower beds, for I expect to find a perfect slope of blossom in the coming season. I remain your master, Salazar al-Abiad. I see a guard. Let's knock out him and then we explore the place.
Someone say something.
This is the guard area, the guards' rooms. Oh, we completed the loot goal. Collect 2,500 worth of loot on your trip.
anything now. Wish I had my overshoes. Where did I?
A lot of chests. We are stealing now the guards' money and equipment. My dearest Louise, from the cold ramparts of my master's castle, I pen these words, my heart ever fixed upon thee, my guiding star in these trying times. The watch is long and the winds bite deep, yet my thoughts of you keep my spirit warm. Our duties are constant, ensuring my master's peace within these walls, a burden made lighter by the vision of your sweet face. Each sunrise reminds me of the day I shall see you again, and each sunset brings a pang of longing for your presence. You are my constant solace, my dearest treasure. I serve with honor, ever mindful of my vows, and know that your virtuous love shall be rewarded by the builder's grace. My sword is sworn to protect, but my heart belongs solely to you. Pray that I might return to claim your hand and find true joy in our shared life. Think of me as I think of you always. Until then, may Providence watch over you. I remain now and forever your most devoted and humble servant, Lieutenant Jack Aubrey. So this is yet another entrance to the castle, the guard's entrance. So I think I will end the episode here, and we will continue the playthrough in episode 2. Thank you all for watching, and see you for the next time for episode 2 of this mission. Goodbye.